Hey everyone, Dad here, and today I want to tell you about a special project that I've been working on for our nursery. And if you stick around till the end, I'll show you how to get some plans so you can build your own. Let's check it out. You know, a few months ago when we decided on a dinosaur themed nursery, I knew I wanted a geometric dinosaur bookshelf. Looking around online, they were charging thousands of dollars for them, so I thought, hey, why don't I build it myself? And sure enough, I did. But now that it's all said and done, all these hours later, I think I understand why they were charging so much. Let's take a look at the build. First, start by ripping down your plywood into the finished depth of the shell. I chose just under 12 inches so that I could get 4 strips out of 1 sheet of plywood, but I ended up needing about 5 strips overall. I use my Makita track saw for working with sheet goods, mainly because I don't have a table saw, but it's also a lot more convenient to bring the saw to your wood than your wood to the saw. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with all the dimensions for every single cut here, but I do have some plans available for sale on my shop over at Dinosaur that will walk you through step by step by step. After I finish ripping down these strips to the finished depth, it's time to rough cut each piece. Next, it's time to cut all the pieces down to their final dimensions. And I like to use my custom-built track saw table for this because it helps me keep all the cuts square to the edges and helps me dial in all those miters really precisely. If you'd like to see a build video for my track saw table, leave a comment down below. Next, it was time to add the dados and rabbits, and it's really important to use a clamp-on straight edge for this part. Alright, now that all my pieces are cut, it's time for assembly. I'm just using some glue and brad nails for the entire project. Doesn't really need anything stronger than that. But it is important to hold all of the joints tight while the glue dries. For the 90-degree joints, I use these positioning squares. I'll leave a link to some down in the description where you can buy them yourself. But you'll notice I have a lot of joints on here that aren't 90 degrees, so I had to come up with my own solution for those. These are Dinosaur's adjustable any angle holders, and you can find a video for how to build your own on my channel. Alright, once you're clamped and glued, it's time to fire away and wait for some glue to dry. And again, to hold these weird angles, I highly recommend you build a few sets of my any angle holders. And after a lot of nail hole filling and sanding, I'm finally to the point where I'm ready to start finishing. And wow, am I excited. It's been a lot of weeks in the process so far. You can see that I'm keeping it pretty simple, just a spray paint finish. I ended up using 3 coats of green spray paint and sanded with 220 and 300 grit between the second and third coats respectively. While we're at the most mesmerizing part of the video, I want to stop and ask a favor. If you like this video, I would really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. I'm new to YouTube and every additional subscription really helps me bring more content to all of you. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and tell me what you like most about it down in the comments. Thanks. Obviously, most of the weight that I'm going to be adding to this bookshelf is going to rest on these 2 pieces. So to make them strong enough, I dadoed them into this vertical beam, but on this side, I'm mounting to this back sloping piece. So I added an extra block underneath. That gives me more gluing surface, more areas to nail, and I think it'll just make it hold up stronger than just simply nailing in from this side. Obviously, if you're going to be designing children's furniture, the absolute most important thing has to be safety. I've heard of all these terrible, heart-wrenching stories of bookshelves falling over and crushing children. And if you don't know how to mount this thing to the wall safely and securely, then just do not build the project. Full stop. I can't stress that enough. But if you are going to design a project, dinosaur shaped or otherwise, important tip is to make sure that the center of gravity is not close to the edge of the base. In my case, the feet. I can put a significant amount of weight out here and it doesn't budge because my center of gravity is really far behind the front of the feet. Little tip to make it extra secure, but again, mount it to the wall. So there you have it, that's my Dino bookshelf build video. In the end, it took me a lot more time than I was expecting, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, given that it was my first major project. But let me know what you think down in the comments. And of course, if you're interested in building this project, check out my 15-page step-by-step guide that'll walk you through everything you need to know, including a cut list and a build diagram, so you can build this yourself. Hey, you actually waited till the end of the video like I asked, and here's your reward. The first 100 people to download these plans over at datodad.com will get 50% off their order. Just use the coupon code DINOSHELF.